I'm still looking for jobs, but I do have contract work in the meantime, but I'm not super concerned because I know that I am employable. And I've known that I'm employable since the 8th grade. More specifically, since the summer between the 7th and the 8th grade. I went to space camp in 1999. Thank you very much. I'll answer a couple questions about that because sometimes questions arise. First, for folks of a certain age, I did not win it on a Nickelodeon game show. You'd be surprised how often people ask. I didn't have to go into any temples. I didn't have to scale an aggro crag. I was neither a wild nor crazy kid. My parents were just like, hey, do you want to go to camp? And we lived in Florida, so I said, yeah, I'll go to camp. End of the story. I also get asked, did you want to be an astronaut? No, not really. I went with people who wanted to be astronauts or engineers or pilots. I went as what the space program would probably now call the worst thing to go as, which is a Ben Affleck fan. I'll explain that. So, in 1998, we had 2 movies come out about asteroids hitting the Earth. One of them was Deep Impact, and the other was Armageddon. We were an Armageddon household. So when you get to go to space camp the summer after Ben Affleck goes to space, you do it. However, when you talk to actual scientists about what Ben Affleck would or would not have done in space for a week straight, they don't love it. And in fact, I learned this year, because I watched Armageddon over Memorial Day weekend to commemorate the fallen soldiers of the Space Force, that NASA uses Armageddon as a management training tool to teach their management what not to do. Who wants to guess how many mistakes are in Armageddon? It's a 2.5-hour movie. 40 more, 100 more, a lot correct, but I need a more precise number here. 2,000 is so many, it's a bit high. So anyone, we're aiming between 100 and 2,000. 400, lower. It's 168. That's almost one a minute for anyone who's interested. Actually, it's slightly over one a minute. Point being, yeah, scientists don't love being told that Ben Affleck was right. They know he was wrong. And yet, even after that, you were looking at the Space Camper of the Week for that week in July of 1999. An honor that because Space Camp has been shut down, I can no longer get, so that deserves some applause. Thank you. And I'll tell you how I got it. It's not that impressive of a story. Step 1. The last day of camp, my counselor comes down to the cafeteria. Our group is there. Sea of preteens in this cafeteria, losing their minds because their parents are coming. And he is just 19 years old, beleaguered by the energy of preteens all week. And he goes, I forgot to nominate someone for Space Camper of the Week. Who wants to be Space Camper of the Week? And in a sea of screaming children, I'm the only person in my group that heard him. I raised my hand. Step 1, done. Now, step 2, which I'm going to remind you was paid for in part by American tax dollars, was putting all of those names into a hat, or maybe it was a space helmet. I don't know. I wasn't there. And they picked a name out. So through a combination of slightly above average hearing and pure chance, you have the award winner who still has that honor on her resume. And she knows she's too old for it. But it's not for a lack of anybody's effort to get me to take it off. I have a master's degree. I went to graduate school, and my lead professor said, Amma, I don't think you need that on there. I said, Tom, I think I do, and let me tell you why. I think that story talks a little bit about who I am as a person. Okay? It shows that I am attentive in the face of distractions. It shows that I will go along with a process whether or not it makes sense, which is like 60% of having a job. And crucially for the work climate that we're in right now, a white guy dropped the ball. I, a black woman, picked it up and ran with it without saying anything so no one knew he made a mistake. And what company doesn't need that right now? So, like I said, still looking for a job and looking for a connection for health insurance, and now, you know, I'm qualified for it. So that's my time. Thanks very much. Come see me after. I have movie stickers.